Firing people in Japan is quite a big deal and quite difficult. Hello, my name is Greg Story. I'm the president of Dale Carnegie Training here in Japan and the author of Japan Sales Mastery. We're coming today from our High Performance Center here in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Well, firing people in Japan is very much more restricted than in many other countries. And so there are various processes that people will go through to have someone leave the company. But often people will leave the company voluntarily when their performance isn't good and they recognise that their performance isn't good. And also when they feel pressure from their colleagues who feel they're not really pulling their own weight within the team and they feel that group pressure to shape up or ship out, and often they can't shape up so they individually ship out as opposed to actually having to physically fire someone. So we will probably go into court if there's a reluctance to leave, but most cases it never goes to court because the court's pressure both sides to come to an agreement. But that's not particularly what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about is what happens after the person leaves, be they fired or actually if they leave voluntarily. Because this is where companies often make a mistake of not talking to the survivors, not talking to those remaining about what's happened. They think, oh, this is an issue with that one person, we've had a discussion, they've decided to leave, or we've decided they need to leave, and they leave. But what happens there is you start to open up a problem of there's a vacuum of no information about what's happened, apart from the fact the person's left, and rumours and mistruths and fake news will fill that vacuum. It's very, very important. You go through the exit interview process with the person, that's all very good. But what about the exit interview process with those who are left? And often when people see someone leaving, they assume some things that are not true, like maybe the company's struggling, maybe they are having trouble getting enough money to pay the wages, maybe this company's not stable, maybe I better start looking for a job right now in case I'm next. They're coming to a lot of assumptions and presumptions based on no information. So it's very, very important to tell the people who are left, your job is secure, the company is stable. This particular person had a need to leave, or we had a need for them to leave. Nothing to do with you, don't worry. Now, often this doesn't take place and then there's no explanation as to why they've gone, rumour goes around, and then we might have a problem of good people leaving because they think there's going to be a problem in the company. So don't just assume you have to have one conversation with the person in question. You need to have individual conversations with key people around them. Now, if it's a really big company, you can't do that, but certainly in the section, everyone has to be spoken to and told and reassured, you're doing a good job. We appreciate you. We need you around here. We like you. And so they realise, oh, that was that person and their particular issue. It's not my issue. The company is stable, particularly in small, medium enterprise companies. People immediately assume there's some financial problem. When people start leaving, you have to be very careful. In fact, it's interesting how your suppliers will see you and others in the community will see you as well. I was in Osaka and I was in expansion mode and I was recruiting more and more salespeople. And it was interesting. We got a comment back from one of our clients who said there must be something going wrong in that company because there's so much turnover. Well, it wasn't turnover, it was actually expansion. But they didn't see the expansion part. They just saw lots of advertising for new people, presuming they were replacing people who left. And I thought, oh, wow, okay. I never would have thought of that. So after that, whenever we advertise it, we are growing. We are expanding. That's why we need to put it in the ad so that the general community looking at the activity wouldn't misinterpret what was going on. So we may think it's all good. We know what's going on, and therefore that's enough. But those around us may come to the wrong conclusion. So don't let that happen. Take the time. Don't just have an exit interview with the individual. Have the exit interview with the individuals in that section or key people in the company and tell them what is really happening, where they fit into the company in the future, what a great job they're doing, and how there's a big chance that the company is totally stable, so don't worry. And if we do that, people will happily keep working there and be relieved. And that is what we want.